Definitely not. Definitely not. I mean, it's been too short a time. Too many maps.
Yeah,
you have to work
exactly.
on Inferno. You got to work on Dust 2. You got to work on these maps.
The standards.
The standards, right? But what I'm saying is, if you got the guy dropping 40 bombs, do you really need him to be working? Do you really need to put the frack in, right? Because if this guy can consistently get frags like that, NaVi, they're not going to be in dire straits. But we are live now with the pistol. We waste no time getting into this third map. NaVi versus TSM, and TSM starting on the offense. And already, we've got the peek for information here from Flamey. He will be playing B, it looks like, to start.
No nade. Oh, well, actually, Sipnix does have flash in the smoke, so he's probably going to start the charge for TSM here. So push up towards that B-bomb site.
Zeus insta-dinked down to 13 HP. That's not going to help things here. Looks like TSM will be able to get out onto this bomb site and get the plant, most importantly, with plenty of HP left to spare. And as I say that, Zeus finds the headshot on Dupree. Somehow, through that smoke, Dupree is off the map, and now the push begins. NaVi looking for the retake, going in as 5. It's going to be the all-out, full-out YOLO rush, and Flamey seized. Each of them getting fragged. Zeus gets another one, and it's down to Kerrigan. But Kerrigan... wrong site, bro. Was there miscommunication there? He's up on the A site. Oh, man. They were definitely expecting. It's almost like insult to injury. Sees is like, oh, there he is. Bap. You know,
but if you're going to join the party, you might as well join your friends in the ditch over there.
There you go, right? That's it. Kerrigan, he threw himself on his sword at the end. He was like, no, I cannot. Oh, but look at this. Oh, man, this is like pure TSM, right? Get the plant. What do? Go for Tech 9 armor. Don't waste any time. Don't let NaVi get their feet under him and try and take advantage of NaVi having FAMASs, being low on nades. This is a very cool play here from TSM. Now we have to see how long they can keep this under wraps. The fact that they've got gear and they have upgraded their pistols.
Well, you would assume that NaVi expects a Tech 9 buy. The biggest problem is where do you expect it? As of right now, NaVi are setting up towards the A-bomb site with the 3 players here. And even though they've added changes to the map, and you can see TSM are going to take use of one of the changes, which is basically the opening from long. Even so, if CTs get into proper positions and they have the nades and whatnot, it's going to be really hard to actually get in there and get a bomb plant down. I'm actually surprised that TSM didn't actually want to try to sell something towards B to create a rotations, because since it's so fast to rotate, teams would likely do it.
Well, let's see. I mean, they already have the rotation coming in, but Edward is holding in bank, as you guys can see. Perma-flashed. He doesn't see a damn thing. Instead, it's going to be Kerrigan starting off the party. Takes out Seized. Edward just the gap that he needs to find Device and get a headshot. But we're into a 4-on-4 scenario now. Kerrigan has an M4 to work with, and TSM, they do manage to fall back, at least put one guy into mid. So they have that guy watching their backs, but it does look like NaVi are all going to come crashing through from bank, from the main CT entrance, and they're taking bullets to the face. Zeus drops down to 1 HP, Edward down to 1 HP. What is going on for NaVi? They have so little HP to work with, and that's enough. That's enough. The fact that they're so low, they are going to back off. It helps that they don't have a kit either.
Yeah, no kit. And obviously TSM bought up with nades, so they were able to smoke off bank. I thought the rotations from NaVi were weird. They had 3 people initially towards that B-bomb site, but they had placed 2 of them towards that bank area. So as soon as they get smoked off, it's seized all alone on that bomb site, and it's really hard to stop a Tech 9 train. And he, just to add insult to injury, he caught the wrong timing. The second he looked away, Kerrigan comes jumping through that truck and takes him out. Even after that, in the after plan, I'm surprised that NaVi didn't opt to have anyone come from behind. You could see Cajun throughout the entire after plan. He was looking for someone surely there has to be a NaVi member popping up here somewhere. But everyone just ended up gathering around towards that bank area, which was just being constantly smoked down.
Pummeled, man. They just got pummeled. But that's just TSM for you right there. A perfect execution of a perfect strat. And now, well, NaVi are going to be the ones on the back foot. They do manage to have enough money to get a reasonable force together here. But as we can see, Seized with the scout. Once again, very limited nades. And a couple FAMASs here to complement things. But NaVi, interesting position here by Zeus. Not sure if he knows that somebody is over there. But they're going to peek into it. And Zeus gets dropped down to 40 HP. Re-peek from Zipnix. And Zeus is down.
Yeah, Edward does reply onto Kerrigan. So that does relieve some tension from the NaVi team. But you can see the majority of TSM gathered up towards that B-bomb site, and actually it seems like NaVi are aware of this.
And Guardian is spotting the mountain sewer right now. This should be information. Not sure if he spotted the bomb. He did not spot the bomb, but instead that's going to be Flamey peeking forward, taking out Dupree. Now Guardian in an aggressive position here, but with only 30 seconds left, this does not leave a lot of time for error, as TSM They're going to find a kill. That's Cajun B taking out Guardian on short. That opens things up. Seized with the scout, trying to do work here from Sniper. Looks for the shot, and he's not going to get it. He takes a step too early. Instead, he's going to get the tag onto Cajun B, and there it is! Edward! Double headshot for him.
Sneaking up from behind from underpass there. So even though Seized didn't connect with that many shots, he bought enough time. That was all NaVi needed at that point.
Oh,
but Flamey, man. Flamey, he single-handedly saves that round by picking up those 2 frags.
But now, I mean, now can we see, or what are we going to see from TSM? Again, they go for the Tech 9 armor buy. Again, they look like they want to take over mid. Or are they going to go for the A site once again?
They have 3 smokes, so they can do the exact same thing they did the previous round. Seized is in a bit of a vulnerable position here. He could get easily picked off here.
Yeah, they catch him running around the corner. He's down to 37 HP. He plays the angle correctly, but they are going to rush him down eventually. Not doing too much damage there, Seized. Now the teammates have to fall back onto this site, but they are just getting rushed. Push. Tech 9 push all the way, and there it is. Guardian with the angle. Goes for the double spray, but he's not going to get it. It's going to be a man advantage now for TSM, and they've got control of this site. Zeus just trying to do the best that he can on the edge of it, but he decides to back off as soon as that smoke goes down. Forces him back around. Now the remaining 2 members for NaVi coming through Bank, but TSM, they've got the Triangle of Doom.
This is going to be so tough for NaVi to get through. Resmoking, yeah, they know where NaVi has to retake from. They only have 1 entrance, and that's it. Take 9s.
It's just Tech 9s in the hands of TSM. It's this no-fear approach. Once the battle commences, it's not over until TSM are on that site. They just do not stop. It's hold down mouse 1, hold down W, profit.
Yeah, and one of the cool things to see actually with TSM, which is kind of unusual for most of the top teams, is the fact that Carrigan is the guy who's the spearhead of every single push. He's always first man in, doesn't really care at all what's going to happen to him as long as he creates space. And with the Tech 9, he's been able to pick up an entry frag every single time as well.
That's a leader for you, Ven.
Oh, absolutely.
That's a leader. Leads by example.
That's someone you want to follow, right?
Exactly. If he's taking point, running in there, getting the info, and even getting frags, there you go. You're right behind him. You should be on his ass.
And again, NaVi force buying. This is a bit of a game of chicken. Like, who's going to give up first?
Well, there's the smoke. Actually, that's a very clever smoke there to block off Edward, but Zeus is still going to find Cajun B. Good kill there down in connector. He decides to fall back, and this is going to force TSM to worry about their back line now because Zeus can go for a flank if he wants to. And you can see them just collapsing on him now. They're just going to run around this corner, and there it is. Kerrigan with the Tech 9 will take out Zeus. So they regain control here, TSM. They've got the man advantage, and now they know that NaVi are hurting. NaVi in a force buy scenario.
And they just want to take their time to stabilize at this point. Try to gain some sort of information that could give them an inkling as to where NaVi are stacking up on, like where is the majority of the NaVi plays.
I like this push. I love this push from Seized, actually. Just getting so much info. Clearing out long. Now he's going to get into mid. He's in restroom. This is so much information gained. And now there it is. Guardian looks away, but he still whips around and takes off Device's head. Big kill there. Edward going to peek up on short, but Dupree will best him, and it's now Seized. Coming in from behind, but he gets spotted out. Kerrigan not going to get the kill, but it's still a 1v2, and they know exactly where Seized is coming from. Sipnix spots him as soon as he comes around the corner, gets that kill, and this is such a back-and-forth battle, but this is surely where it has to end. This is surely where NaVi, they have to be the first team to decide, okay,
enough is enough.
Enough is enough. We have to go for an eco.
Yeah, and they have the same train of thought as you do, Sam. Only Zeus picking up a flashy, so yeah, they're going to flash over here, over the wall, take over the fountain area, and, well, they're going to find Carrigan, but that's it.
There's the deagle on Flamey. Oh, now every time I, like, involuntarily tense when I watch Flamey with that deagle. I'm just like, is he going to get it?
Yeah, just expecting big things, really.
I mean, on Dust 2, he certainly gave us a show. Kerrigan now in connector just rushes forward, just does not care that there's 2 guys here. He's going to get overwhelmed in the end. Seized closes in on him and gets the backstab. So NaVi really trying to push forward, but Device is going to catch out Zeus. And it's now down to the remaining 3 members here for NaVi who are in connector, but they are going to get the backstab. But look at that. They're already preventing this. They're 1 step ahead. Sipnix is holding that angle. The angle that Seized would use to get in to try and flank TSM. He's already on top of it.
And you can see most of the NaVi members of Bar Guardian are actually moving away from the bomb site. Guardian wants blood, really, and he's actually going to find Dupree.
And then he shoots a perfect outline around him. That was almost like a circus performance right there.
How to create a halo.
He was throwing knives, man. Dupree, he had the rose clenched between his teeth. Helpless.
The setup was there.
Wow.
Yeah, a bit of a back and forth.
Yeah, that was so close. But okay, now let's see here. NaVi, full rifles, very limited nades. This has been the story of NaVi's life, essentially. You know, the CT side, you need the smokes, you need the Molotovs, the nades to buy time, and NaVi have never had them.
Yeah, and every time NaVi have been low on nades in the previous maps, they've gone aggressive. It's going to be fun to see what they're able to do here on Overpass.
Oof.
Seized trying his luck in underpass, not going too well, down to 31 HP. Guardian is actually in a pretty nifty position as well, covering the balloons.
I'm surprised he hasn't started shooting them out there. It's hard to resist, man, when you got the balloons in your sights.
You see Suze is also at the way back of the A site watching long here. He's going to spot out one member from TSM, but he has no idea that there's two more.
Exactly right. Now the question is, does Guardian land the shot? Yes, he does. There you go. Perfect headshot coming out from Guardian. Flash to prevent the rush down as well. And right now, NaVi are firmly divided. They're just split. They can rotate A quickly. They can rotate B quickly. They're waiting to see where the bomb shows up. And this is a 4-on-5, so TSM now, they have to make it count. They have to run in and get the job done. They have to land the shots perfectly here. But the smokes are going down, and Debris finds Zeus. Seized, however, will strike back and take out one of his own. But Guardian comes through, and he's going to get smoked. He's not going to have a target to shoot at. It doesn't matter, though, when Flamey walks in and gets a double, if not a triple kill. And Flamey, once again, just taking point for the team.
There was definitely some confusion as to where Flamey came about, because he ran through the smoke and picked up that first frag, and nobody from TSM reacted to it. They were still running out towards, watching towards that restroom area. No clue as to where Flamey was coming from. But it really seems like for NaVi to get going, they need Flamey to come up big. That's their recipe.
Oh. And talk about, I mean, the unexpected, right? Because we go into this, we expect Flamey to be the one who's still trying to figure things out as to where he fits in on NaVi. And now he's just, it gets into those situations where it is no longer about like the strats. It's about just walking in, communicating well with your team, and landing the headshots. And when it gets to that point, that seems to be where Flamey just, it's his time to shine. You know, it's flame on, Fantastic Four all the way.
Look at Seas. This is in such a, this is a crazy position. As soon as that smoke runs out, he's completely messed up.
He's completely exposed, but it's the opposite side of what you'd expect when you're checking that angle. Instead, he's going to walk right into Dupree, so no luck that time. Edward, however, looking to return, going to get caught by Device with the AWP, and now a two-man advantage for TSM. They've got the control of the map, and now they can pretty much decide where they want to go here.
And I actually like what Guardian is doing now. He's going on the aggressive. NaVi needs to get information as quickly as possible to get the best sort of, the best possible defense really up.
And there you go, information, Guardian, nobody long. You already see the preemptive rotation start to make its way towards that B site. There's another man in mid right now. They need to get these guys back onto this B site right away because TSM are about to come knocking. And there you go. Flamey, this time around, they bought a bucket of water. No luck there. And Zeus and Guardian are the last two members alive here for NaVi, and they are going to have to back off and hold on to the guns.
Yeah, that's all they can hope for. Not a single frag for NaVi that round, and their economy is not looking too well either. They might get lucky with the fact that TSM doesn't have all that much money themselves. It's pretty much just Sipnix who's sitting on a lot of money, so they're not going to be likely to hunt after them either.
It's like hunt after them, really? Like, is it necessary when you're about to get 5 rounds, right? I mean, it's always necessary if you had the money.
Exactly. If you have the money, there's no reason for you not to, because doing that could potentially give you a much easier 6th round or 7th round, that type of thing. But as of right now, TSM just playing it as safe as possible, want to try to build a stable economy. NaVi, on the other hand, they're starting to scrape off the bottom here, and you can see dropping guns all over the place. And they will be able to get a buy-up, but again, limited nades and some. I mean, seized, picking up a scout.
Cannon.
Yeah, glass cannon scout. That's not a phrase you hear too often.
That is pain right there. He's got to be so careful with how he peeks at that point, because the scout, you're fast on your feet, but if you've got no Kevlar, you're going to get chewed up.
And he still has 1,600 left, so that's a decision he made to not actually pick up any armor at all, or nades for that matter.
Was he gathering a bank for Guardian, like try and get that AWP? Well, okay then. Oh, Device shows that he has fast reactions too, but that was a great shot by Seas to open things up.
And Guardian follows up with a frag onto Carrigan, and all of a sudden this is looking pretty promising for NaVi.
They're picking them apart right now. TSM still spread out a little bit, so they can't get into the revenge frag. sort of situation where they'll be able to trade.
Ooh, they're going to be able to catch Edward off guard there. Seems like a bit of a lack of communication from NaVi there, because surely Edward has to be aware of the fact that...
I think it was a misread.
Yeah.
Because you saw the flash go out as well towards long.
Yeah, that's true.
So I'm wondering if he didn't scope it out. I was like, oh, nobody's there. Like definitely just lack of information there for NaVi.
Well, over towards the B bomb site, Flame is in a, well, not uncommon position, but it's a really hard one to deal with for TSM. They do have quite a few nades, but the biggest question is, like, will they expect it?
Will they check right? Will they check right? Will they check right? That's the question. There it is. Paints the outline, gets the kill in the end, and Flamey now has to worry about it, but then Device comes right back into it, does not let Flamey reposition himself. Zeus and Sniper, though, is going to take out Cajun B, and now we're into a 2-on-1. Device is going to get the touchdown nade, though. Perfect onto Zeus. And Guardian will land a headshot. NaVi not letting it slip through their fingers that time. Everybody doing what they needed to do. Zeus, Flamey, Zeus, Guardian, each getting a frag.
Yeah, on the side of TSM, that was Device picking up 4 frags. So, just that tiny bit of more damage from any of his teammates, and that would have been the difference. 8 HP on Guardian there. But still, they're going to be able to buy. They did get the bomb plant. So for them, at this point, they just want to grind out rounds because they've gotten 5 rounds so early on. For NaVi, it's more we have to play a perfect half from this point out.
That is so brutal, especially when, yet again, this has really been the story of it all. And this is actually really impressive that NaVi, when it comes down to it, they're able to get those frags because they really have nowhere to go back from that. They're limited on nades every single round. They really aren't making the job easy for them.
I mean, yeah, they even won the round we just saw, and still very limited nade. Seas doesn't have a single nade left. Guardian, no nades because he wanted the orb.
Flamey, no nades. I mean, he's got the single flash.
Yeah.
It's like this is real tough, but look at that aggressive push all the way up long. Such a sick push from Seized. He's getting so much info, and now they have solid 3 guys on that B site, but there you go. Dupree picks up 1, but it's going to be Zeus with the double kill as they try and come up short, slowing them down here, TSM. In the meantime, Seized is racing, trying to catch up to have some kind of impact, because right now, his teammates are getting shredded. Kerrigan gets a double, and Guardian, he's not in position to really able to step up and stop this bomb from getting planted. Now, we have the Triangle of Doom set up here for TSM. They've got the 3 members, and they've got enough members alive to watch the angles. It's going to be so hard now for Seized to get in here. It comes down to this, the brute force method. Guardian gets 1, Seized the other, and now it's down to Device to stand in and clutch it for his team, but it's not going to happen. Guardian ends that dream.
NaVi make it happen some way, and that's definitely a round that TSM should have on lock. But for some reason, NaVi find the perfect openings, and I'm not quite sure what TSM member actually planted the bomb and sat on it. He definitely should have been able to pick up Seized.
Yeah.
He does, obviously, his focus shifts somewhat when Guardian picks up that first frag.
I think both of them, honestly, because Guardian, sidestepped out, or, walk-stepped, right? So it's like...
And I mean, if you're not going to get the frag, at least do significant amounts of damage. Because... Again, we're seeing Guardian coming out of 1v1 situations with not that much HP. And those small things could be the big difference.
Oh, well, this time Zeus, there's the flash, and he's going to step forward, and he goes for the reload. And unfortunately for him, there's 3 more rifles there waiting to greet him. So Zeus turns that into a 1-for-1. Flamey falls to Dupree, and here we go. The rifle starting to come to the fore for TSM. Edward from Sniper, before that smoke goes down, manages to pick off Dupree, and TSM still trying to push forward to get this bomb down, but Edward is holding a great angle right here, just trying to cut them off, and it's now down to Device, 1v2, and he does not seem to have spotted out Edward, but he will sit down and go for the spray, but Seized tells Edward, thank you very much, mate, but I don't need your help. I'll go ahead and collect that triple.
Exactly. When for a second that Device actually jumped off on top of the barrels there once he got onto site, and it looked like he did a double take. And he thought he saw Edward down in the smoke, because I'm pretty sure that they knew he dropped down from Sky. So a bit of a weird round there, but again, works out for NaVi. But they're still not able to actually get a stable economy, and here comes the TSM train.
The mad spray, but massive damage dealt to Dupree at least. He's going to get dropped fast, and Flamey Edward, they're stepping in. Flamey doing the best that he can, but it's down to Sipnix, and Sipnix delivers for his team. 2 kills there, brings it back to a 2-on-2. Sees this time from upper, not going to be able to land the spray, and Cajun B makes it out of there intact. Sipnix, however, still alive on the site. He knows that he's getting flanked as well. He needs to push forward and take out one of these members, but he's just a little bit too late. And it's not meant to be that time.
And while all of that was happening, Cajun has just legged it. He basically left Sipnix to die on his own on the B bomb side.
Do you think that they'll be able to look at each other in the eyes after this match?
Oh, if I was Sipnix, I would have a death stare in my eyes at this point, because they definitely had the opportunity to actually pick up one of the NaVi members as they were pushing towards the site. Instead, Cajun just makes the general decision that, well, you're supposed to die.
And, well, he goes on to meet his teammates as well. They will not pick up this round, TSM.
Yeah. And I'm curious to see what the thought process behind Cajun's decision was in that situation, because he's obviously not taking the short route through the doors to get towards the A-bomb side. And in any case, NaVi are going to have a much shorter rotation time.
Yep.
So Cajun basically taking the detour of the Sentry all the way back in towards C-spawn.
It was like the ultra mind game, dude.
Well, you're never going to get to a bomb site in time without NaVi having a good idea of what's going on in that situation.
What still manages to blow my mind is that TSM just continue to buy. Like, they just aren't letting up. They realize it's coming so close each and every time. I mean, they leave it so that they have 1,000 on everybody, so nearly everybody. Cajun B is fairly low.
Yeah, but the thing is that they've won Tech 9 rounds, so you get a freebie pretty much without putting in the massive investment of getting an AWP or getting AKs and nades and all of that. So they stack up money fast, unlike NaVi.
This is going to be very difficult now to actually get in here and get the kills. Seeing as how they don't have many flashes, they line up for Edward. Edward and C is just shredding them right now, but there's the running gun from Cajun with the AK. Managed to pick up one. He's not going to get further than that, however. Zeus and Edward just locking down that site, and they end up finding the bomb in the end. But I think this was it. This was mission successful or accomplished or whatever for TSM, because that bomb did get planted, so they will get the bonus money going into the next round.
Yeah, that was pretty much all they were looking for. For NaVi, they just breathed a sigh of relief, because that was the first time they've actually stopped the Tech 9 eco.
Oh, and kept, like, what, more than, like, 2 people alive at the end of the round as well?
Oh, yeah. It's just been a massive slaughterfest, really, the entire time. NaVi has, yeah, pretty much 1 or 2 people alive at most.
This has been such a battle. And now we get to see
something different, actually, from NaVi, because he's pushing up along early on in the round. And previously we've seen this mid-round as a way of getting information, but he's already getting a ton of information for NaVi.
Question is, does Dupree realize that this flank is coming in right now?
Well, his spider senses are tingling, because he keeps looking behind himself all the time.
And then it comes down to timing, but Seized, man, he is looking for this flank. Are they going to look back? He could have the golden opportunity. He sees them all, but then he fumbles the opportunity to do massive damage. Instead, he gets a lot of information for his team, but he could have at least taken a frag there along with it.
Yeah, but he tried to play cool, and I got to give him some credit for the thought, because that could have potentially been 3 kills for him. But Dupree's spider senses, I mean, he committed into restroom, and he actually comes back for no real reason. He's just like, yep, I'm going to check it.
Yeah, being thorough. Clearly it's Dupree's role in that situation.
Yeah, and it's something very different from what we saw them doing on Inferno whenever they would go to take banana. So maybe they're picking up lessons as they go along.
Watch for the backstab, because clearly they're on point with it. Well, there's the big push already coming through. Flamey manages to pick up 2 headshots and nearly takes out a 3rd one there. Cajun just able to react in time. Edward, however, and Guardian doing the work. And Guardian with the shot at the end to close it out. 14th round, and they managed to pick it up. NaVi, you guys can hear the crowd just goes wild now.
And NaVi have finally been able to stabilize somewhat. So coming into the last round, TSM will be able to buy up, obviously, seeing how they got the bomb plant. So no real issue for them, but NaVi are really getting into the groove of things. And they were very aware of the fact that Carrigan was doing a backstab once again. They completely knew it. Edwards is locked. He was glued to that bomb site because he knew Carrigan was going to show up eventually. So for TSM, if they want to do something similar, maybe drop the entire backstabber. Just have everyone push in towards the site. Try to get into proper afterplant positions, because most of the times we've seen them get onto the B-bomb site, they don't really get controlled over the site before it's too late, before NaVi have rotated everyone over.
Ooh. And I could hear the ooh in the crowd as well. Guardian missed that shot. Seemed like he was dead on there, but just barely off on the timing. So he does spot that there are, in fact, TSM members on long, but he does not get a kill to work off of. So now NaVi, they just kind of have to buckle down tight. Bit of a forward position, actually, coming in from Seized.
I'm curious to see how far up TSM want to push before they actually bring the bomb along, and it seems like Carrigan's going to go back towards T-spawn to pick that up. There we go. Device goes down to Guardian. And already TSM's possibilities and options here in this round are getting limited.
And they've got no time either. I mean, they're down to 40 seconds, and the bomb is all the way back in T-spawn connector. It's going to make its way mid. Where are they going to go? Seized is going to walk into Dupree and annihilate him. Perfect headshot on there. He's going to be able to go out into mid and continue to look for frags. Runs out of bullets. Bet he wished he had an A4 in that situation. But the damage is done. Man advantage now for NaVi, and the rotation should be solid. Guardian is there to pick off Kerrigan, gets a second one as well, takes out Cajun, looks for the third, and he's nearly going to find it as well. Sipnix just barely gets behind the block in time, and Edward is there to rob Guardian of the glory. But I think that Guardian will be fine with it this time. 10-5. What a comeback from NaVi into this first half.
Absolutely. From round 8 and out, it was all NaVi. Even though it was very close, TSM definitely had quite a few rounds they could have turned on its head and actually come out victorious in. Guardian especially, he was very, very central in everything that NaVi did in those retake situations.
Picking off Device early in that round. Well, that last round, for example. Just
yeah.
Every single time Guardian seems to come through. And even Flamey is having his moments. He is managing to get some kills. So everybody seems to be doing a good job here on both teams, in fact. TSM, though, now it's their time to go on the CT side, and now we have to see what NaVi decide to go for, because look at the outright aggression that's going to be coming in from them here. All the nades are down. It's full Kevlar across the board, apart from Seized, and here we go. Dupree, his time to shine. They go corner. He checks it, and he's going to turn it around. Nearly picks up a third one. So close. But they have been battered, NaVi. They're going to have to slow down behind this smoke as well. They can't go pushing through that.
And that was more or less mission accomplished from Dupree. Stops the push, allows TSM to rotate over, and now we're seeing 3 people holding steady for TSM towards that A bomb site. It doesn't really seem like NaVi wants to change their mind at all. Bomb still towards A bomb site. It's Edward.
Oh, look at this clever boost. Trying to look over the truck.
Cheeky. And look at Edward, though. Like, he's slowly working his way towards that A bomb site through B.
Now, does Kerrigan pick up on this, Because Kerrigan, it's like the battle between the lurkers at this point.
Oh,
Kerrigan and Edward, once again, meeting. Does Kerrigan stroke the beard? Does Edward give him the chance? Instead, it's going to be NaVi creating some kind of distraction over here on the A side. The bomb is here, and it's going to try pushing its way through, but Kerrigan wins versus Edward. Flamey, however, takes out Cajun, looking for the second man. He's not going to get it. Device is there, holding close. Instead, it's just a trade back and forth. But the man advantage that TSM had, they managed to hold on to it, and that made all the difference in that pistol.
It really did. Dupree stopping that initial push did a lot for them, and it definitely felt like what he was saying was completely true, because, well, first half, Edward versus Kerrigan, who has the more patience, and this time around, Kerrigan had the most patience.
Oh, surprise. I'm actually surprised by this. I thought that NaVi would hold off another round.
Well, Tech 9 armor and Molotovs, actually, so this is going to be fun to see.
Why didn't they go for what they did on Inferno, though? Like they eat a round of eco, sure, but then they buy up full the next round, right?
Well, with Tech 9, you mean?
Yeah. Tech 9, armor, full nades.
Inferno does lend itself more to it than Overpass in terms of just Molotoving out an entire bomb set completely, so that might be their reasoning for it.
This
Still
is
curious
just scary
see
to me,
what
though.
they're going to Molotov off. If they're going to Molotov off higher, if they're going to Molotov the site only.
Barrel.
Yeah, Barrel for sure. Barrel is definitely going to be one of the spots, but they do have 2 Molotovs.
I'm just surprised that you would go for this kind of buy without, the helmet armor, right? Versus FAMAS's, all this sort of stuff. It's like, yeah, okay, you're run and gun with the Tech 9, but you take a bullet to the face, even from a P2K, you're going to be sad.
Yeah, that's very true. I can
Right,
see the
here we
smokes
go.
coming in.
Molotov behind the barrels. They're just going to be pushing through. Sipnix is ready to hold, however, and they do have the angle. They're going to running right through. However, Kerrigan is going to get overwhelmed over in pit, and now it's down to Flamey, who is just taking point, trying to cover his teammate to get that bomb plant. The bomb does get planted, and they bring it back to a 2-on-2. NaVi making it happen. Flamey with the reactions of a god takes out Sip, and he gets the third one as well. Device is down, and Flamey just making all the difference. He's once again top fragging for NaVi.
Proud man. God, I'm really loving this, and well, the Gambit worked off. Forcing it up, they made it work, and initially it really looked like TSM were going to be able to hold that off. Kerrigan getting the first frag there on the guy with
What
long
happened
house.
with Kerrigan?
Well, he met Flamey.
I think he just sprayed all of his clip into the main tunnel, because he was sitting there spraying at the guy coming through the main tunnel.
He's still have bullets left because he's using the 30 bullet Colts.
He's using the A4, yeah.
Yeah. There's still bullets, but
we didn't get to see that on the stream, unfortunately. But that was definitely a little bit of a wishy-washy scenario there.
But I mean, Flamey's performance right now is crazy. He basically just one-taps people when he sees them.
Dude, that second kill of his, mid-air, just like, bap, okay, sit down. That is painful. How do you deal with that if you're TSM as well, especially when you're now fairly far behind?
And speaking of pain, NaVi has taken quite a bit of damage here. Guardian and C's down to 30 HP. Only Kerrigan tagged up for TSM. Obviously, they don't have the similar buy to, they don't have the Tech 9s, but 5.7s and CZs, they do go a long way as well.
Well, now Kerrigan's in that spot, and he's going to get pre-peeked by Edward and taken out. So man advantage now for NaVi, moving on to this B site. They begin the take. And there they go. They spot one man dropping down into pit, so this is going to be Device trying to do the best that he can. Sipnik's trying to play behind the pillars, not going to manage it. Device does take out Zeus, however, but that bomb will get planted in the smoke, and now it's down to TSM. Can they do the damage? It's not happening, though. Flamey holds off the pre, and sees lurking on short will catch out Cajun B. NaVi managed to hold yet another round, and they are now 4 rounds away from taking this series and putting TSM down into the lower bracket.
What a crazy event, a turn of events, really. When we saw Inferno, we were thinking, well, this was as expected. TSM took the first map, and then they were going to go into Dust 2. We were expecting a similar story, but then Flamey happened. And right now...
Yeah, right. It's just then Flamey happened.
Yeah, and right now, NaVi are firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, now this is the kind of power that NaVi have. On the home turf, man, Star Series, this is just them. If ever there was a team that really thrives from playing in front of their fans, it's NaVi.
And Cajun gets taken out. NaVi not really choosing to push while they get the frag. And look at Dupree. Dupree's actually in a position to do some damage, but sees. Seems like both teams just know when to expect backstabs at this point.
Yeah, it really is working out for him, isn't it? I mean, Sipnik gets caught after having rotated up to Bank. Now this is down to Dupree, but he gets caught by Seized. Now that was Kerrigan, actually. It's Device now, the last man alive. And can he catch that man off guard? There you go. Peeks out, but Seized sees it coming. He knows. Once they get onto that bomb site, once they realize, hey, A site is completely clear, where are the CT members?
Yeah.
Just good, thorough work coming out from NaVi in these take situations. TSM, now they are going to be in NaVi's position. How do they make it work without the nades, just with the rifles?
Well, this is what it comes down to. If TSM lose this round, it should be easy match point for NaVi.
Shall we say no Tech 9s, Ben?
Yeah, true. Well, NaVi did quite all right without Tech 9s on that CT side when they were really forced. When they had to perform, they really brought it. So it's up to TSM to do the same. And they do have a bit of a different take on it as to how they want to hold. You can see just from the get-go, TSM opting to play with 3 people towards that A bomb site. Not really having anyone to feel things out, get any sort of information. So TSM are playing blind and counting on their own ability to just hold off and execute from NaVi. And not surprisingly, NaVi just taking their time. Having Guardian pretty much boosted up here, they're any position where you could potentially find a pick.
Really is standard NaVi, isn't it? 40 seconds left, all 3 gathering up on long. 1 man in mid, 2, soon to be 2 for NaVi. But there's the Molotov to force Cajun out into the open. He's going to have to go, and he might get caught, but he does manage to take 1 man with him. That's double, actually, taking Guardian and Zeus. There's Device peeking from the edge of the smoke at Bank, and he just spots them making their way onto that bomb site to get the plant. Needs to land this kill, but he runs out of bullets, and somehow it's Sipnik's there to save the day, and the retake is perfect for TSM.
Cajun getting those 2 frags. He was just a hair away from getting picked off by Guardian as well. As soon as that Molotov goes down, he's forced to change position. Guardian was in prime position to get 2 entry frags for NaVi, and I think if that happens, it's just game over. Yeah. That's the round lost for TSM, but they bring it back, and, well, if we're going to go off of anything that's happened previously in this game, this is just how it's going to go for the remaining rounds. It's going to be back and forth, and
just brutal.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe TSM will be able to eke out 1 round at a time.
I mean, they have so little room to work with, really. So NaVi now, 3 rounds is all they need. If they get into a back and forth battle, if TSM lose this round right here, again, TSM are not out of the doghouse yet. They desperately need to win a round decisively to build some bank.
Yeah, they started off well. Having 3 people surviving that previous round, that's obviously a big start for them. For that economy stability, really, but it's going to be a battle. And NaVi, again, taking their time. Right now, it seems like they want to set up for a B take here. You can see most of NaVi converging towards that B bomb side, except for Zeus, who's just lurking back and forth in underpass and stairs.
And this is pretty much Guardian's usual position when these B takes come in. You know, he's going to set up one of the smokes, and this is going to be very nice indeed. Bounces over, blocks off CT, so nasty, and now they're just going to go rushing in, but Sipnik's holding on the slope. He's going to be able to pick up the first one. Great headshot there by Zeus to take him out, but Kerrigan is still alive in the pit. Reacts in time, sprays down one, cannot get the second, however, and we're into the 2-on-2. Flamey and Zeus now have to get this bomb planted for NaVi, but Dupree is so close on short, and he's got the HE as well. Would have been sick if he could have got the tag, but he still gets the kill, and Flamey is down to 1 HP. It's all down to Device. Does he know? Does he know just how low Flamey is? He's still scoped up with the op. If he misses the shot, it would be a catastrophe, but he does land it in the end. And NaVi, they're still, once again, held at bay. But TSM, man, TSM, it's a bar fight every single time. They're just picking up the pieces afterwards, like the one guy who's, conscious enough to call the ambulance, One guy. And that's Device. And then luckily for them, it's the AWP that he gets to hold on to.
Yeah. And I actually thought that Kerrigan's frag on the guy coming in from wrong there was probably the most impactful frag they had that round. Because he was about to turn away. He was expecting Zeus and Flamey to push up short and just in time get that frag, and actually puts quite a bit of decent damage onto the remaining NaVi members as well.
That was Guardian, wasn't it? Trying to walk his way in there, I think.
Yeah, I think
he had the bomb as well, so that cost valuable seconds for NaVi, having to rotate back and pick that up. I mean, that was a big kill, you're right.
Yeah. And one of the biggest things is NaVi never got the bomb down. And this is going to play a definitive role. I mean, TSM are going to be in a really tough place regardless if they lose a round, as Guardian opens up on Device.
Well, that's a problem. That's a real problem for TSM.
Yeah. But TSM have to look at it this way. They could potentially force NaVi on the eco if they deny another bomb plant here.
Well, an aggressive push from Kerrigan actually pays off, and he manages to catch Seized, who was lurking towards that B site. No definitive information here, however, for TSM as to where NaVi want to take this. But with 40 seconds left, NaVi have got the bomb outside of B.
Oh, look at Flamey.
And this is just Flamey. He's
behind enemy lines.
Oh, this is so bad, though, for TSM, because this is going to cost them so much time. They only have one guy alive, and that's Kerrigan over on the B side. He's going to have to come up huge, but Guardian catches him peeking, and that is it. Now the rotation has to come in, and there can be no hesitation on TSM's part. They have to get out here so quick to support Sipnix.
And Sipnix has to play this correctly as well. Like, he can't commit too heavily before he has his teammates around him.
Well, there's the flash from Sniper. They should be able to push out here behind it. Guardian misses the flick, and now he's going to get the follow-up. Edward, Guardian, Zeus, H1 picking up a kill, and that is NaVi now on 14 rounds. And TSM are broke. They've got no money.
This is going to have to be 5-7s, scouts, and this is going to be so hard for them.
Yeah. If they can come back here, anything is possible.
And look at that. TSM actually opting to go aggressive here with very little to work with. This could either pay off big or just go massively wrong for them in a hurry. So they do decide to fall back. Kerrigan is lurking, trying to take the challenge with Zeus over at B.
Well, he's got the scout. I mean, if he can land a tag. Instead, it's Zeus just pre-firing that angle with the Tech 9. So much damage. Kerrigan dropped down to 60 HP.
Oh, Dupree.
Yeah, Dupree. Does he spot him?
I think Edward saw him.
Time to haul. Time to get out. Instead, he decides to lurk, and he is going to get caught here. There it is, Dupree. Great headshot onto Edward. That split second really costing Edward in the end. Seized is able to hold down Mouse 1 and take out Dupree, however, so it's back into a 4-on-4.
TSM do have 2 players on that A-bomb site. And we're going to see something... Well, actually, no. Now NaVi turns around. They want to go everyone towards A. Flamey's already up at long. And Cajun and Device have to come up absolutely huge here.
It's time to fully commit. 30 seconds left. Molotovs go in to pave that site and fire. And Flames, great HE, and Guardian lands the kill on the Cajun. Now it's Device holding at Bank, just holding the line before they can get across, but he gets overwhelmed. Kerrigan, however, does manage to take out Seized. So we're still into a 2-on-3, and he's just going to go charging straight through that smoke. Nearly lines them up, drops Flamey down low, and he gets the follow-up on a Zeus, gets the follow-up on a Flamey. Hello, Kerrigan. 1v2 now, and it's down to Guardian, and he's going to commit. He gets that plant, but both members going to close in here for TSM. Can they actually do it? Yes, they can. Xyp9x will overwhelm Guardian, and somehow, some way, TSM make a pistol force by work.
That was just madness. Xyp9x jumping up on the box, like on the Electro box there, to get into the A-bomb side, got the attention of every NaVi player, and Kerrigan just walks up from bank and picks up 2 people. It's just
so
craziness.
Big.
Absolute craziness. And, well, NaVi did get the plant, so they're going to be able to buy, but we're back in it. Same old situation as before. Whoever loses this round is going to be back on an eco.
It's almost fitting.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, this is certainly fitting for how this series has gone. Not just this match, not just this map, but this series. It's just been so incredibly close. A total brawl at all turns.
Yeah, you can tell NaVi, they know how important this round is. You can see Edward just holding the most passive position he could think of over towards the playground area. Sue's in his usual position towards stairs and underground, just walking back and forth, see if anyone from TSM are straying off and trying to play aggressively. And, well, seems like NaVi wants to set up for a B take here. Because he's boosted up, he wants to peek towards barrels.
Very nice boost, actually. Doesn't have much information to go off of, however. I mean, he's clearing out barrels, he's clearing out snipers, so actually this isn't too shabby. There's the jump, but he isn't going to spot him. It's Kerrigan instead who decides to smoke off short and hold this angle. Guardian walks in, though, takes out Xyp9x. Zeus is there as well. And just like that, the B-side defense is eliminated. It is now open here for NaVi to walk in and essentially get this plant for free. Flamey in position. He's not going to win the duel versus Dupree, however. Headshot there. And a 3-on-3 retake scenario now for TSM. All 3 members alive and healthy here for NaVi, and they're closing it off. They're just falling back, making TSM walk into their crosshairs. The smoke is soon about to clear, but Device is going to find one. Cajun finds another, and Cajun gets both. No kit. They actually put Dupree with no kit on the bomb?
Logic doesn't apply anymore.
I don't even know. It's like, hey, we got 2 guys with kits. Let's put the guy without a kit on the bomb in a clutch scenario when there's all 3 NaVi members alive and watching for us.
So Karen's going to be like, guys, it's going to throw them off.
Don't worry
about it. Absolute madness. And that looked like such an easy round for NaVi. Kerrigan getting too overexcited, really. You know, firing off too early. Giving out his position. They actually managed to take down Xyp9x. He's completely out of it at that point.
Speaking of which, and now we have to see how things develop here, because NaVi are the ones who are forced back. Like you said, you know, it's just Tech-9, armor, buy. We cannot let them get their feet under them. Look how close it was last time.
And at the end of the first half, what we saw was NaVi actually finally being able to hold off of the Tech-9 rushes from TSM. Now it's all about, can NaVi break through TSM?
As far as the defensive setup is concerned here for TSM, they don't look too shabby. They have Dupree who's pushed up on long, but the rest of them can get back down to this B site fairly quickly. But there we go. It's going to be the Molotov execute. Just so many nades. Look at that bombardment coming onto this B site. Somehow Xyp9x still able to stay alive and pick up a kill to boot. Edward is gone. The Tech-9 madness. The rush is in, but they're just mowing him down in droves. And it's Guardian, the last man alive here for NaVi. 1v5. He picks up the first one, takes out Cajun, but he's still got bullets, and he's still got 30 seconds to make this play. He has the bomb, but where does he go? 25 seconds isn't enough for him to be able to make a play for A.
He has to suicide pretty much. Like, he has to run into it.
The blender. And well, Xyp9x is going to find that last kill, and you guys can hear the silence in the crowd right now. Whenever TSM win around, man, the NaVi fans are not pleased. But that was, you know, you were talking about whether TSM would be able to hold off a push like that. There you go.
Yeah, and that's such a big investment for NaVi, seeing how they were broke at that point. So now it's Glock Eco. So barring something crazy happening like we saw in Cloud9 versus VP, this should be an easy round for TSM. They can finally stabilize.
Oh, easy. You know, let's see. We got Flamey. We've seen what he's capable of, and there's Seized picking off Cajun. P250 in hand, and Seized still manages to deliver a frag. Flavey's got the Tech 9. He's going to be up close. Goes for the run and gun. Takes his time with it. And Dupree just bungles the spray. But instead, Device is there to secure the site. Double kill for him, holding this line. There's now an AK picked up on Edward, however. And Device, man, going for the style points. Thinks that they're going to slow play him. Goes for the HE and gets overrun. Now with a minute left on the clock, there's still time here for NaVi to make this play. Edward, however, is pinned down in the corner. And he's got the bomb. He needs to find the headshot, and he's not going to get it. Sepnix manages to dodge back in time, and that bomb will now get planted. A single flash and a single smoke for TSM to work with on this retake, however, so this is going to be so difficult for them. The angles are being held there, and Edward just applying the pressure. He does manage to change it up, get over to long instead, and now they have a crossfire going into this. NaVi, this hold is looking very good. CT spotted, and he's just going to go for the wild spray. Edward gets it in the end, and they do manage to eliminate Sepnix. No, he's still here. But he just doesn't have the time. Guardian is still here, and there it is. Edward will find the shot.
And the one round that was supposed to be the easiest for TSM to pick up is the one they botched.
Is a P250, a single like Tech 9, 2 Tech 9s, I think. There you go.
No armor. No armor from NaVi.
I don't even know.
And Carrigan picking up the AWP there towards B. I've pretty much seen him with the scout the entire time. Like, the money hasn't been there for TSM before now, and well, Cajun and Device, they're going to have to rely on the 5.7s. NaVi fairly spread out all over the map, not wanting to make any rash decisions, and you can see Flaming Guardian being the most aggressive players really for NaVi, slowly walking their way up towards Dupree here. We actually could get the drop on Flamey.
Wow, great reactions for Flamey. Comes around the corner and manages to take out Dupree.
And the big thing here is that NaVi are expecting this to cause a reaction from TSM in terms of a rotation, but as of right now, TSM standing still. Only Cajun and Device towards the A-bomb site. Sepnix and Carrigan still towards the B-bomb site. Carrigan has to come up big. He has to land the drop.
And there we go. Oh, they line up for him. Is he going to get the follow-up? No, he does not. Guardian manages to make it out of dodge, but Flamey has picked up another 2 headshots. Zeus gets taken out by Sepnix, but it's still a man advantage situation here for NaVi. 17 seconds left, and they are not going to get this plan unless they can walk up and just like throw it down there. They know where Sepnix is, and it's now down to Edward, and he's going to win it for NaVi. And the entire arena explodes. NaVi, in the end, they run the gauntlet, and they bring it back. After losing the first map, they take Dust 2, and they take Overpass.
Absolutely craziness. Absolutely craziness. And that game was just so back, the entire series was just back and forth, back and forth, back